Have you ever driven through Perry, Florida, and wondered whose hands built this town? Most people see the timber industry, the railroad history, and the old downtown buildings. But what many don't realize is that after the Civil War, black men and women helped build Perry into the town that it became. Any formerly enslaved people came to Taylor County looking for opportunity. They worked in the dangerous turpentine camps, cut down towering longleaf pines, hauled lumber, laid railroad tracks, and worked in the sawmills that fueled Perry's economy. Their labor transformed the forest into wealth. But they didn't just build economy, they built lives. Black families established churches where they worshiped together. They opened schools so their children could learn. They formed Masonic lodges and community organizations. They bought homes, started businesses, and created neighborhoods filled with hope. Like so many black communities across America, they were laying the foundation for generational wealth and a future they hoped would be better than the past. Then, in 1922, that future was shattered. After the murder of a young white school teacher, suspicion quickly turned to black men. Before the legal process could run its course, a violent white mob seized its suspect, Charles Wright. He never received a trial. He never stood before a jury. He never had the opportunity to defend himself in the court of law. Instead, the mob took Charles Wright from a jail cell to a location and burned him to death. His life was taken without due process. The constitutional protection that is supposed to guarantee every person a fair trial before being deprived of life and liberty. Violence did not stop with Charles Wright. White mobs attacked black communities. Black homes were burned. A black school was destroyed. A church was set on fire. The Masonic Lodge and other community buildings were reduced to ashes. Black families who spent years building their lives lost everything in a matter of days. Some fled with only clothes they were wearing. Many others abandoned homes, businesses, land that they knew they could never safely reclaim. The destruction wasn't only about property. It was about erasing a community's future. When black families are forced to flee, they leave behind generational wealth they are no longer able to pass down to their children. Businesses closed, schools disappeared, neighborhoods unraveled. This economic social damage can last for generations. Perry, Florida later became known for excluding black people after dark and has been identified as one of Florida's sundown towns, where fear, intimidation, and racial exclusion shaped daily lives for decades. Today, many people know about Rosewood, Florida. Far fewer know about Perry, Florida. This story deserves to be remembered because the history of Perry is not just about racial violence. It is about the determination of black families who helped build this town. With their labor, they created thriving institutions against enormous odds and its contributions that were too often erased from the history books. When we tell the story of Perry, Florida, we honor not only those who were killed, but also those who lived, worked, built, dreamed, and believed they belonged here. History isn't only about what was destroyed. It's also about remembering who built it in the first place. So I'm here in Perry, Florida. It's a really quiet town. Not a lot going on here. I was hoping to run into some residents here to see how they feel about living in Perry and if they know anything about the Perry massacre. I did see some residents walking, but they just spoke and kept going. I won't say it has an eerie feeling, but it's a quiet feeling. Not eerie, just quiet.